Hello and welcome to another edition of the Fatu Network News Review Program. I am Fatu Kamara.
And I am Omar Wali.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. If you're just tuning in, this program is live and it is coming to you from our studios on Caraba Avenue. This is the Fatu Network News Review Program. And it's Monday today, the 2nd of July, 2018. It is the Monday after the major cabinet reshuffle by the President of the Gambia, President Adama Barrow. And we know that right now we're getting information, Omar Wali, of a major reshuffling of permanent secretaries that's also taking place right now. We're getting the information as it comes in, and we will fill you in with all that information. It looks like right now Barrow is ready, to make those changes. The Gambians have been complaining. They've been saying, Mr. President, not much is moving. We want to see the change that we all voted for. It looks like that change is coming. There was a major reshuffle of cabinet. Would this be a good thing for the president? Would this be a good thing for the country? Would this work? As at now, they have not resumed office yet, so we're waiting to fill you in on that. And we know as we speak right now, the permanent secretaries are being moved around from where they are to different ministries. We'll also give you all those details. But right now, we're going to take a quick look at the newspapers. And of course, we will start with We'll start with the Standard newspaper. It has ex-ministers speak. That is the Minister for Information, the former Minister for Information, and the former Minister for Agriculture. On the newspaper, they spoke to the Standard newspaper. D.A. Jawa did say that he does not know why he is removed. Nobody told him. And O.J. Jallow said on the Standard, according to the Standard newspaper, that he will not speak right now because his militants from the PPP asked him to not say anything as of now. And he said that they are planning on having a meeting. And once that meeting is complete, we would know if he will speak to the press or not. We actually were trying to reach him for an interview yesterday on Sunday after he said we should call him for that interview. But when we called, we could not reach him. I guess he said that on the Standard that they're waiting to finalize stuff, and once that is done, he will get back to us and let us know when he can give an interview. And also on the Standard newspaper, the drama at the APRC camp continues. Rambo replaces M.A. Barr as APRC deputy. Omar Wali was trying to reach Rambo so he can come over for an interview. When Omar Wali is in, he will talk all about that. But we also know that M.A. Barr also had a meeting at his house, and he actually addressed the people via voice note. He promised to send it to us, but we still don't have it. Maybe he's threatened with what Fabakary Tombong Jatta said, that do not speak to the press. If you do, you will see what happens. That kind of sound like Yaya Jammeh to me when I read it, but let's see. Omar Wali and I will talk about that. 3 arrested in Birkama mother. That happened over the weekend when the young people attacked the Birkama police station to force their way in and attack the 2 accused who were accused of killing their family member. I actually was at the Birkama police over the weekend, but we could not do anything. We were trying to find out if the family members of the boy who was killed were there, but they were not there, and the police would definitely not talk to us because they always refer us to the police PRO. And President Barrow makes first major cabinet reshuffle, is what The Point is reporting as well, The Point newspaper. And it says killing of Musa Koli inflates tension in Birkama. Like I said, we were following that over the weekend as well. APRC removes M.A. Barr, and M.A. Barr is still saying he is not removed. He actually had actually not a press conference, he had some meeting at his house, and we do not have the WhatsApp audio now. He promised to send it to us, but it's still not here. And Gambia-UK relations is bright, and that's also on The Point newspaper. Of course, the 31 million government impress not retired is also on the Daily News. Barrow reshuffles cabinet. M.A. Barr removed as APRC deputy, even though he's saying he is not removed. And also the acting police boss assures Gambians of professional work by his men. I'm sure this was during the press conference. That's on Senegambia. It's a bi-weekly newspaper. That's also actually a weekly newspaper. That's also reporting on that. And government to strengthen joint security patrols at night to reduce crimes. And of course, consumers blame ex-trade minister amidst Baker's strike. That's also on there. But now Aissa Tuture would not be the trade minister when she returns from her trip. She is going to be the new health and social welfare minister. And Omar Wali. Interesting times.
Yes.
Yes. I know that the police, actually, there was an issue at the Birkama station, right? Over the weekend, and we have seen on the papers here too, the ex-ministers spoke. D.A. Jao did say he still doesn't know what he did, and he told the BBC the same thing. I mean, is that the same thing you're hearing around, that he said he doesn't know why he was removed? Nobody said anything to him?
Yes, that's what he said. He said he was called to the office of the president, and he was given a letter, but he did not meet the president. It was the Secretary General who delivered the letter to him, and that he was relieved of his duties. So, but since then, we have been receiving rumors that even with the vice president, some people wrote online that, on Facebook, that she was removed because as a result of she wrote a letter which was intercepted at the United Nations, writing that she wrote on the letter acting president. But all those things cannot be confirmed right now.
Yes, that has been said. I think there's a WhatsApp audio that's going around that the vice president did a letter where she signed off as the acting president.
Right.
And they said that did not go down well with the presidency. Actually, these are all stuff that are being said online. There's no confirmation of them. But there's another official who said something like that to me, Omar Wali, and the person said that each time the president travels, the vice president will sign off as acting president. We don't know how credible that is because we cannot reach out to the vice president right now to find out if that is the case. But if she was doing that, some are saying that it's not right. It shouldn't be like that, even when the president is out right now. For instance, right now, the Speaker of the House, Mariam Denton, is the president. He's like the one who is overseeing. We cannot call her president, but the one who is overseeing the state as the president is out of the country. So it means she cannot also sign off on as acting president.
I don't think so, because as we speak, Barrow and Dabo, they are all in Mauritania.
Yes.
And she is currently in charge of the country, the Speaker. When the president is out, the vice president also is out. Normally it doesn't happen, but this situation, because Dabo was out and
he was out.
He was appointed. We can call him vice president designate because he does not take the oath yet and so on. But the former vice president is out, so now this Madam Speaker is in charge of the country.
Yeah, Madam Speaker, the Honorable Speaker is in charge of the country right now. If there are any pressing issues, for instance, if any security issue comes up, it will all have to be addressed by the Honorable Speaker. But again, they will have to make some phone calls to the President, of course, to brief him, to tell him this is what is happening. And then I'm sure they will discuss it together and see what they can do. O.J. Jallow, very, very controversial politician. He's also a very charismatic politician and also a politician who also a lot of people believe in. But we understand that he did not turn up at the office today to hand over.
Oh.
Yes, that's what we're getting. We cannot, again, confirm that because we call him to confirm that from him, but OJ is not picking the phone call. I think it has to do with what he said on the Standard, that right now the PPP militants have asked him to wait until they have a meeting, and they've advised him, according to the story, that he should not speak until they're ready. Maybe that is the case, but we're getting word that he did not go to the office today. Who is replacing him again? It's
Lamin
Damundiba.
Yes,
so I'm not sure if Lamin is with the delegation to.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we don't.
We should have called before coming in. But
yes,
we will do a follow up, and immediately after the.
But I think that normally they don't have to wait until they're sworn in to be to hand over.
No, like I asked someone last week, I said, why is it that most of the times they reshuffle the cabinet on Fridays? He said because it will give opportunity to the outgoing one to hand over to the incoming one. So we have like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah. So, but
they should all hand over by now.
That's exactly.
Today is Monday. They should go to the office and hand over.
The incoming ministers supposed to take in charge of the country, the ministries, they should be handed over to things on Friday or over the weekend. But we will find out from Lamin Damundiba and say if O.J. Jallow handed over or not.
Well, interesting times, but that's what we're getting. We're getting word that O.J. Jallow was not at the office today to hand over. We tried to reach D.A. Jallow to see if he actually was at the office today to hand over, but we could not reach him. He's also not picking up. It's unfortunate, though. I don't know why all of a sudden nobody wants to talk to the press. You are our friends. Remember, we were talking all the time. Please pick up. Even if you're busy, just say hi, hello. I cannot speak right now. You know, I'm waiting to hear from my people or something. Tell us something. But dodging from our calls is not good, because what that would bring, it will bring a lot of speculations, and we don't want that. We're saying now we're in a democracy. The press want the information when we need it, and that way we can clear the air, because that would also help you. So, yes, so Rambo, you called Rambo. What did Rambo say?
Well, Rambo's supposed to be here, because I spoke, there's things after Sidinjai left the APRC, they kind of restructured the party. So it's not like everybody should talk, because Amul is the new spokesperson. When I saw the story on the Standard newspaper that Rambo is number 2, I called him, but I had to be referred to Amul Nyasi because he's the spokesperson. But I spoke to Amul.
Also, Rambo referred you to Amul?
Amul, yes, because there's a chain of command. Although we want to talk to Rambo. So now I spoke to Amul, Amul spoke to Rambo, but what Rambo told Amul was that he is appointed, but it will be confirmed tomorrow. So he will grant us interview, hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah, but who appointed him? Did he tell you?
Not
because I saw a press release. Actually, I saw Freedom Newspaper put something up, and they're saying that even the leader of the party, the founder of the party, said so. And did you talk to Emeba?
I spoke to Emeba. I was supposed to have him on yesterday night. When I called him, he denied that he's still the deputy party leader, or whatever you call him.
Yeah, that's what he told me.
But I called him this morning, and he was giving me a different story. So I told him that he's out. Admitting, denying. But I told him I will call you today, this afternoon at 3 o'clock, to discuss this thing live. But I'm calling now, he's not picking the phone.
Okay, now this whole thing then is not making sense. Because the APRC, they need to put their house in order. Lamin Tamba, you guys, they need to put their house in order. Actually, when this happened, when I saw the news on Freedom Newspaper last night, I called Emeba. And when I called him, he said, I am still the deputy party leader. And only this morning for him to turn around and tell Omar Wali again that he is not the deputy party leader.
Yeah, and he's supposed to pick my call and at least explain to us what happened, who dismissed, who expelled, because they say he has been expelled from the party. So who expelled him? Whether it's Fabakari Tombonjata, or as he called it, the supreme leader. Whether it's
they have a supreme leader?
Yeah, that's what he told us last time when he was on the
supreme leader.
Jame is the supreme leader of the APRC party. So, but he is not available to speak to us now. But we will keep on trying. Hopefully, when Rambo comes tomorrow, we might get him to trust out the challenges, the indifferences, the struggle within the APRC party. Okay,
well, I just want to take the opportunity to tell Rambo that please come over and be interviewed. I know that, APRC, some of you are not happy with me, but you see, that is gone. We're one Gambia, one family, and we would like to hear from you. We would like to interview you. If you come over here and you don't want to talk to me, it's fine. I can stay away while you talk to Omar Wali, but I definitely would love to talk to you.
Why do you think APRC people are not happy?
Yeah, well, Emeba said it here. When he came, and Rambo the other day, he was live on the radio, and I was talking to you. You were interviewing him, and I was talking, and he was ignoring me. Everybody saw that. I don't know why they do that to me, though.
What did you do to APRC? I don't
know what I did.
A retentive memory.
APRC, actually, I think they did something to me. I don't think I actually wasn't APRC. It was the leader. Yes. So maybe then go sort lyric. But also right now we're getting information of a major reshuffling of cabinet, actually permanent secretaries right now happening. And we understand that Dauda Sise, who was the permanent secretary for the Ministry of Youth and Sports, is been moved to the local government and land, so he'll be working with Musa Drame. Okay. We got this as I was coming in. We also know that Cherno Bari, who was the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Health, is going to the OP, to the Office of the President. We know that the permanent secretary for Interior, Bulli Diba is going to the Ministry of Defense at the Office of the President. Tangara, who is the permanent secretary at Defense, will be moving to Interior.
Asan Tangara.
Yeah, Asan Tangara will be moving to Interior. Safi Sankare is the permanent secretary at the
Foreign Affairs.
Minister of Foreign Affairs. She's one of the permanent secretaries, because they have two, right?
Right,
yeah. So Safi Sankare will be moving to the OVP, the Office of the Vice President. And lady, I don't know her name, but the OVP is moving to the Ministry of Youth and Sports. That's where she's going. Pate, the PMO, permanent secretary, is also moving to Environment. And Lamin Jawara from Environment is moving to the Personal Management Office. So this is what we have right now. There's a major reshuffling of permanent secretaries today. And once again, Dauda Sise, who was Henry Gomez's permanent secretary, is moving to the local government and lands. He will be working with Musa Drame. Cherno Bari, the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Health, who was working with Safi Lo, is now moving to the office of the president. Bulli Diba, who was the minister of the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Interior, is now moving to the Ministry of Defense, which is also under the office of the president. Hassan Tangara, the permanent secretary at Defense, is moving to Interior. Safi Sankare, the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, is moving to the office of the vice president. She will be working with lawyer Usainu Dabo again. The woman who is currently at the office of the vice president will be moving to the youth and sports. Pate, what's Pate's last name?
Ja.
Pate Ja, who was at the PMO, is moving to environment. And Lamin Jawara, who was at environment, is moving to PMO. And PMO is under the office of the president. Omar Wali, are you surprised?
Yes, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it's going to stop at the ministers, but I think they are doing kind of restructuring from the ministers to the permanent secretaries. Who knows what will happen tomorrow?
I think it will be directors. Maybe the managing directors, the parastatals. I think there will be a shake-up in that too. Though if you look at the trend that it is going, first it was the ministers, and then it comes to the permanent secretaries, and then it will go to, of course, I'm thinking the parastatals. So if you look at somebody like, for instance, Bulli Diba, Bulli was actually at Interior, and now he's going to... Bulli is now going to defense. I think that's all security. So that is not a very big change. And the one who was at Interior, who was at defense, at Tangara, is moving to Asan Tangara. He is moving to Interior. So that's all security. Kind of swap. Yeah, that's kind of like a swap. That's but for Safi Sankare was Solicitor General, and then she was moved to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but she worked there with lawyer Usainu Dabo, and now she is moving to the office of the vice president. We've all been talking about what happens to the women's affairs portfolio. Now you have a woman who is the permanent secretary. Safi Sankare is there, right? Not only that, I think the people's concern were like, who will be the women affairs minister? Because for them, Usainu Dabo is a male and he cannot be. And the permanent secretary
if you look at in the First Republic, because I was discussing with someone yesterday, I said, is it normal for Usainu or a male to be vice president at the same time, Minister of Women Affairs? I said yes. Sekou Sabali was the first women affairs minister in this country, in the First Republic. But I think the whole thing is because when Jammeh came, it was just a few years, and we have known only female vice presidents.
Yes,
so from Asadunjai Sedi, Pamela Tamajan came. So for many people, it's supposed to be a tradition that if you are a vice president or a woman or a female should be a women affairs minister. That's the belief most people have, but it's not written on stones that a woman affairs minister.
Yeah, but now to the fact that you have Safi Sankare there, like she's the permanent secretary. I don't know if Dabo will have two permanent secretaries, because they could say the office of the vice president, I think it used to have one. I'm not sure about when Tambajan was there. But Dabo can have two permanent secretaries. Safi Sankare can be responsible for women's affairs, and they can have another permanent secretary for administration. That's also possible. But what we know is that Safi Sankare is moving from foreign affairs. She is going to the office of the vice president. Someone just said here, I don't know who is advising Barrow, but these things are not making sense. That's what that person said. They said it's not making sense. I don't know how it's not making sense to them, but maybe to...
What is that? The reshufflement of the permanent
secretaries, yes.
Well, they know better.
Yeah. But I think the people who I see here moving around, Pate also was... has he always been at PMO?
He has been at PMO.
All the time?
All the time.
Because most of the time, the permanent secretaries move a lot.
Yeah, Dauda spent quite a lot of time at the personal management office. So Dauda, when Dauda was there, and Pate was his deputy. So he has been there for a long time. And Asan Tangara as well was between Interior and Defense. And Bulli, since the government took over, Bulli has been the permanent secretary. Although Maud Sise was at the Health.
Yes, Health, Maud was at...
Youth and Sports.
Dauda Sise.
Dauda Sise
was at Health, and now he was Henry Gomez's PS. And now he is going to local government. He's going to be Musa Drame's permanent secretary. I don't know if he was at local government before, but the permanent secretaries are supposed to be the technocrats. They're supposed to be the experts.
That's it. That's why when Henry Gomez had a National Assembly and
The permanent secretary was...
And when he was whispering, and people were like, it was the permanent secretary helping. But they don't know. It is the permanent secretary who helps.
Yeah, the permanent secretary is supposed to be the expert, but that does not mean that the minister should also not know.
Yes,
I mean, at the end of the day, it would be good to tell the permanent secretary, you know, tomorrow I'm going to face National Assembly members. Can you send me some notes?
Right.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with reading those notes overnight and get yourself prepared. But yes, for those of you who are just tuning in, Dauda Sise, who was the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Health, is going to the Ministry of... is going to the local government. Dauda was the permanent secretary at the Youth and Sports for Henry Gomez. He is moving to Musa Drame, and that will be at the local government and lands. Cherno Bari was the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Health. Cherno is going to the office of the president. Bulli Diba was the permanent secretary. The Ministry of Interior, Bulli is moving to Defense. Defense is also under the office of the president. And Asan Tangara, the permanent secretary of Defense, is moving to the permanent secretary of Interior. He is going to be Mbalo's permanent secretary. Safi Sankare, who was the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, is moving with lawyer Usainu Dabo to the office of the vice president. The woman who was at the office of the vice president is now moving to Youth and Sport. And Pate, who is Pateja, who is the permanent secretary of the PMO, is moving to as permanent secretary to the Ministry of Environment. He will be working with the other Lamin Diba. And Lamin Jawara, who was the permanent secretary of the Environment, is moving to the Personnel Management Office. This is what we got here right now, and we understand that it's not ready. You know, we have a lot more ministries, but once we have the rest of the information, we will let you all know. And with this, we're thinking that there could be another reshuffle of the parastatals.
Yeah,
I see it coming, especially with the shake-up as well as security.
Someone just wrote here, said Fatu Omar, the head of the Women's Bureau, act as a permanent secretary for Women Affairs. That's at the ministry. So somebody is saying that one. Yeah.
Well, but the Women's Bureau is still not the office of the vice president.
Yeah.
And remember, there is social welfare as well. And somebody told us yesterday, 2 days ago, that the social welfare there's no director there, is vacant.
Yeah.
And then we know that even though there is a director at the Women's Bureau, it's called an executive director, but there has to also be a director at social welfare and a permanent secretary at the office of the vice president. So the permanent secretary at the office of the vice president is kind of like the liaison person who all of them contact when they have stuff to go to. And I know they go to a lot of women meetings as well. Okay. So, yes, that is what is happening today. And we understand that. Actually, we want to call someone. Let's call that person first. And when we come back, we will talk more about some other things that happened during the shuffle.
Yes.
Yes.
So
let's call Said Matijao to talk to him. And then we will get back to you all.
Hello, Hello, Said Mati.
Yes.
Welcome to the news review. Hello?
Hello, yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, you are live on the news review.
Yes. Hello, guys.
Yes. Okay, going to business now. When Barrow reshuffled the cabinet on Friday, you wrote on Facebook, is it appeasement or assertiveness? So that's what I want you to elaborate to us. What exactly do you mean by that?
Yeah, I think everyone was kind of shocked, was surprised with Barrow's bold move, and I would call this maybe the boldest move since he assumed office. So, but then a lot of questions were being asked by the populace, including myself. A lot of politics have been going on. So I just wanted to know, actually whether the whole process of reshuffling was it informed by the fact that Barrow wanted to appease some members of the UDP. And for some time now we have seen that there is a kind of tension, which is not official, but we've seen it from people protesting against the Barrow Youth Movement in Jaba, for instance, and all those kind of discussion that is going on. So I was asking whether it was there the decision to reshuffle cabinet, even given Lawyer Dabo, for instance, the office of the vice president, was it somehow to appease the UDP supporters, or in terms of the assertiveness, or is it doing that? Is it doing this now because he realized that his government has not been doing well, and then therefore there's the need to change, to hold the brakes and then change some of the players and see whether that can can change, but more so to debunk maybe quite a number of perceptions that there was a counter government or maybe a parallel government at the State House. There's this general belief that the former VP was a very strong pillar, and so maybe that was also one of the reasons why Barrow decided to say, okay, I'm in charge here and I'm the president, by exercising his constitutionally given powers.
Now, I have to keep you on that thing. As a political science lecturer, what is your take on the reshufflement? Was, like you said, assertiveness, you talk about appeasement, people talk about a whole lot of things that Barrow want to take charge and so on and so forth. As a political science lecturer, what can you tell us about this whole process?
I think for me, I would argue that it is a both of, it's a bit of both of appeasement and also maybe assertiveness. But I would say it is more of assertiveness in the sense that there have been a lot of calls, and they've been at some point like you don't actually know who is the decision maker in Ghana government, because you have been hearing all these different stories, and for also there's this whole process of people blaming Barrow for everything that is going on, and I think he wanted to show examples and wanted to say that, okay, I am present, and the president, I'm here, and why he wanted to do that. But I also argue that given the example, the position of vice president, somehow will reduce this bit of tension that has been there between the Barrow Youth Movement and the UDP diehards, like we've seen in Java. So I think for me, I would say it's a bit of both, but I would say it's more of assertiveness. But at the end of the day, this is what we just see from the outside. I think Barrow knows best.
Now, do we know who is in charge? Like you said, there was like a kind of a power struggle, if you like, that we don't know who is in charge. Now, do we know who is in charge?
Well, I wouldn't say like we didn't know who was in charge, but now we definitely know with this latest example. We know that Barrow is present. For me, my argument is that Barrow has been missing in the political space for some time. That has to do with the way he communicates and all that. But I think this one is showing us that he is here, that he is in charge. And yes, like Fair your vice president, who was believed to be a very powerful individual, yes, definitely it shows that Barrow is in charge.
Okay, thank you so much, Said Mati, for your time.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much, Said Mati. That was Said Mati. I was speaking there to Omar Wali. But Omar Wali, the permanent secretaries that are on here, somebody is saying that they hope that these people are experts in the different areas that they are moved to, because that's also very important. Yeah. Like you talked about the situation with Henry Gomez, when everyone posted it, him at the National Assembly wanting to answer questions, and you have a permanent secretary telling him. So I hope that these people who are moved to all these different departments are experts in those areas, because that's very important.
Yeah, like someone was telling me yesterday, like the Cisse guy who was at the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Dauda knows health. He's make a good permanent secretary at the Ministry of Health. Mm-hmm. And
but now they're moving him to local government.
Local government again, yeah.
Yes, and they're supposed to be the experts in this. Well, we wish them the best of luck. We hope that after this, another one would not come. I know what happened in Sierra Leone was they asked for their resumes, for everyone to present your resume, so that the government would look at it, the PMO, for instance, look at it, and then they will send, whoever is qualified to go and where. Yeah,
President Bio was trying to get rid of the old people in the system. Yeah. Because if you come and said, now you go with your team, like the Trump system, in Africa, I might say, this is a witch hunt, like you always say. But this man came with a strategy, a smart move. He said, come with your resume. If you are qualified or we know where you are good at, we can take you there. If we are good at mineral resources, like in Sierra Leone, they have diamonds and so on, we'll take you from the child unit or Minister of Women Affairs, we'll take you to the mineral resources. Mm-hmm. If you are an expert in health, we will take you to health. If you are expert in international relations or your area of specialization, that's where, that's a good move. But sometimes some will also tell you that we want to take them around so that they can have a clear understanding how governance works.
We cannot, with our situation, I think right now we cannot risk that. Because
Right.
we have a situation that was, that Jammeh already messed up. He's gone. Sometimes a lot of people will tell us, don't talk about him, forget him. But sometimes his name will have to come in. Like in a situation that we are in right now, I'm not saying we're looking for a quick fix, but at least, experts who can help. I think that we don't want to take chances like get Omar Wali to go to finance. For instance, if someone take you at finance,
I'll be confused.
for you to try your hands there.
Yeah.
I mean, we really don't have time like that. So I think it's important that they look at who is the expert where and move them there. I'm sure by now the parastatals, some of them who does not like change, will be shaking. The average Gambians, the typical Gambians don't like change. Yeah, they don't want to be moved around. But it would be good if I were you in the parastatals, the managing directors, for you to start thinking that you may be moved. And if there is anything that you need to do before you are moved, start working on it. Because the way that this is going, it started with the ministers, and then from there it is down to the permanent secretaries. And I can tell you, most likely from the permanent secretaries is going to the parastatals, especially with what is happening at Social Security. And now I'm not saying that they're going to change the MD. I'm saying at least that could be another reason that would focus the government's attention on parastatals, trying to see how they can try to get them to also work together, because it's very important, very, very important. And we understand, like I said, we are told that OJ did not go to the office today to hand over. We really cannot confirm this because we called him, we could not reach him. But also we understand that the vice president, when she got her letter to leave the office, she was reluctant to leave. She didn't want to leave because according to the information, she said she wasn't going anywhere and that she wants to stay in that office, right?
Yeah, I also had similar thing, and two people told me, and one was insider there, said when she was given the letter, she said she wasn't going anywhere, and she was not even going to accept for the redeployment of foreign service. So that's the information we got, that they had to call in people to come and persuade the vice president to accept what they told her, that she should leave as the vice president and she should accept the redeployment of foreign service. So I got it from almost 2 or 3 people.
So she didn't want to leave. So they had to get people to come and talk to her. So
right.
Was it maybe it was like you were not there? You got this from sources, but maybe it was like, okay, I played a role here, so I cannot just be moved like that, and this is where I want to stay. But do you know if she accepted the appointment as I think they said she was going to serve at the UN mission? I don't know if
at the
that's
press
confirmed.
release, they did not make mention of that. All what they said was like, she is going to be redeployed to foreign service. Like they said, like Safilo Cisse too is going to another country.
Yeah, I heard Safilo will be going to Morocco.
Morocco, that's what the information. But for her, we still did not get information which country she'll be going to. Redeployed to us in foreign service.
So you see, this brings the issue with the communications officer at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. When I said that the ambassador was recalled and he was put on the next flight to come over to Gambia, and he was like, "Don't use that word recall." I think he even went to another newspaper trying to make me look like I didn't know what I was talking about. But yes, that ambassador is not going back to Morocco, so I don't know how he's coming to defend this one right now. We're getting word that Safilo Cisse will be the ambassador to Morocco. We do not have official confirmation from her yet. Right now, because of what happened, some of them are not picking phone calls right now. I tried D.A. Jawa the first time in my life to call D.A. and not reach him. It was today, and I also called OJ since yesterday. We've been calling him, and we could not reach him. I think it's a very difficult time right now for them.
All of them, difficult moments. Like Samuel said, we have played a crucial role in this bringing out the coalition together. Like the vice president played a key role. But one person also who has played a very important role and is not recognized, I can say, is Halifa Sallah. I interviewed Dembo by force. He said the first 12,000 or so, the money they paid to held their force meet at the hotel was paid by Halifa Sallah.
Dembo by force.
Dembo by force told me that, despite being different political parties, he admitted that. And Halifa played a very crucial. I'm not holding breath for Halifa, but many people are not talking about that. And even during the impasse, Halifa played a crucial role diffusing tension between the military and the civilian population. He went up for an extent of telling Gambians that if you saw see the military, buy attire and give it to them. At the time. At the time, Barrow was out of the country and things were in sample. Jammeh was in power, and he had to play that leadership role and said,
but it was the same group that was saying, when people in the diaspora were saying we also contributed and they didn't care about us, like they have no diaspora representative in cabinet, they were saying it's not about that. So how come all of a sudden now they would say this person contributed, that person contributed? Remember, they told us that it was not, what was the word that they used at that time? That they don't have, they're not rewarding people. They said that. So, I mean, there are other people too in the diaspora who fought, who contributed a lot. But they're saying this is not a reward system. So I guess it's not a reward system then.
Let's think about that reward system. Because whenever you talk and whenever you commit issues, they said Fatu Kamara is angry because he fought. Like I told you in our interview, you are acting the way this is because you did not get what you expected. Was that the case? Were you all expecting after Jammeh, whenever Jammeh leaves, some of us, even not all, should get something in the cabinet? Was that the case?
Well, why would we expect anything? I mean, honestly speaking, what we were expecting, at least, the list that they could have done was the people in the diaspora who fought alongside them. I know this call is some information coming in, but you see, I cannot pick it right now. I think I'll have to. But this is very important because it's about developments, about what's happening right now. So let me see if the person will text. Some of them don't like to text. But yes, I was saying the list that they could do was the people in the diaspora who were fighting at least to even if it is a tissue paper, to say at least thank you. What it is it's not like we are hungry or like we set up this place. It was very fast to set this place up. So anybody who can come up and set a place like this within a month, that person is not hungry. But at least what would have been nice, like even our kids, when they did well in exams, I take them to the grocery store and at least buy them something, buy them books or buy something. Maybe that's what the diaspora is talking about, but it's not like they really have to have us there. Everybody wants to be recognized. If Omar Wali did a great job before you leave, I see the comments, everyone is like, oh wow, Omar Wali is smart. You like those comments, right?
Right.
You like them, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So somebody is writing messages right here. Do you think I should go and just let you be here talking while I get the information or try to text
yes,
them?
I can do that because at least somebody is writing. Tukulorsi said, they said we did not fight for ourselves, but during the coalition campaign, they were praising us, which means that. But another issue at the time was that they were like, when you say diaspora, it's not only America and the United Kingdom, or this is a very broad community. So how do you think it's going to be? Who are they going to select? You have a whole lot of people in the United States, in the UK, and other parts of the world. So if they have to kind of a reward, how do you think the process would be?
Well, it was not for everyone. We know even the people who were in Gambia and people like our sister, you saw her, how she was out in the street, Jamaica, everything. We saw all those videos. And I'm sure you have also contributed. You voted. So not all those people can be engaged. But there are people there who are at least, senior citizens, people who have been fighting all their life to get Jammeh to go. What would have been nice, at least in the whole cabinet, at least one person from the diaspora, they could talk to them, and say, we are trying to see who. We want 2 people from the diaspora. But then again, they would say, Jainaba is there, Ibrahim said, well, those people are more of UDP than, even though they belong to the diaspora, but there are independent people in the diaspora. So that's what we're talking about. But definitely, you see, all of that is gone, and I think the diaspora now, they have a good relationship with the government. I think that should continue, and for the government to also see how they can encourage people in the diaspora. For instance, when they come home wanting to set up something, they should definitely be there to support them at least.
Yes, I know, according to information I received, Macky Sall is good at that. Whenever there is Kodite or Slovaski, at least he will call 1 or 2 of them and say hello, and just... Some of them said that's the only thing they want.
Exactly.
And another thing also is some will tell you that how will that selection process is the same thing. You talk about our CC, somebody talk about somebody also, but they will be like.
But Omar Wali, Adam Barrow himself, and his cabinet, they know the people who were there when they needed it. Right. If you listen to the audios during the fight, some of the interviews, you will hear Fatmata Tambajan saying, please, Dimbele Lenyu, we don't have no money, then Lepnany Beswana, Lepnany. Who were those people you were talking to? They know those people, right?
Right.
Yeah, so those people are not saying they all want to be ministers. What we are saying, take toilet paper, tissue paper, and write, oh, thank you, it was great. At least only those few lines. People will appreciate that. Macky Sall, for instance, was making phone calls. Yeah. We know the president is busy, but at least once in a while, get Secretary General to say, oh, Omar Wali, and tell Secretary General, President for Okonge, check the wrong afali ala baraka. That's even in our culture. I think that's normal.
That's right.
Right? Mm-hmm. In our culture here in Gambia, if you do something, I tell you, I say thank you, Omar Wali. Even though we work together, but you do something good, I say thank you. I do something good for you, you turn around and you tell me thank you. So, but Barrow could not even say that. And some people will say, no, it's good, don't blame him. I mean, I think that was wrong. That was the only beef, actually mine, I thought it was wrong. For people who were in the December 30th, the Alaji Barrows, the Bankamanes. I mean, definitely, yes, it's a coup d'etat. I mean, people have their reservation about that. But at least you are the leader. Invite them and say, what you did, that is not good. It was a coup, but next time, at least talk to them, that's all.
Yes, I like that December 30th, so I spoke to Papa Fall. I interviewed Papa Fall. I interviewed...
Well, Mama Wali, I think if we need this information, I have to go and get it. Right. Because there is, can you take a break? Because definitely we cannot put this person online. We definitely
Then
cannot.
we'll take a break and come back.
Yeah, so I'm going to, no, you are going to stay.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're going to be doing all the talking today.
Do I have that energy? So then I will be reading some comments here and so on.
Anyway, this man. Okay, so, yeah, I really have to go and then I'll be...
TAF Africa Global is pleased to launch Dalaba Housing Estate. Dalaba Housing Estate is our newest estate located on the Sukuta Jabang Road. You can buy a finished 2 or 3 bedroom house or service plots accompanied with a free fence and gate. At Dalaba Housing Estate, you get to enjoy bituminized roads, gated and fenced properties, solar street lights, water reticulation, public amenities, 1,500 fruit trees aligned in streets and many more. Make a 40% down payment today and spread the balance conveniently for 10 years with GTBank, EcoBank and Trust Bank. Terms and conditions apply. Wait, this is the best part. We are giving a discount on outright payments. For more information and exceptional service, please call our office line on +220 4410 233. Better still, call us on mobile or via WhatsApp on +220 376 2333 or +220 776 2333. You can also visit our website on www.tafafricahomes.com. TAF Africa Global. Our experience is global. Our focus is Africa.
Viewers, welcome back to Viewers Tube with Mariam Cisse. Earlier on today, State House of the Gambia tweeted, they said, opening of AU Summit at the Conference Center on the theme, winning the fight against corruption, a suitable path of Africa's transformation. Answer Cisse also tweeted, he said, I don't want to sound rude, but I think it's necessary to ask President Adama Barrow and his team, what are they smoking at the State House with a question mark. How can he appoint Mamburunjai, who helped Jane load the country as the finance minister of M. Teranga as the FN, Jane Commission, TRRC are a waste. Time newspaper also tweeted, they said, I am here to salute my president. Mexicans rejoice at AMLLOS left-wing landslide. They are currently really excited about their new president. And also on Facebook, on the other hand, State House of the Gambia posted on the 30th of June saying President Adama Barrow arrives in Mauritania ahead of 31st Ordinary Summit of AU Official State. They posted on Facebook. And also Pam Derry posted, he said Nawek MD and his management team arrested as Jamme about lack of electricity. Full story is on Facebook for more information. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much, lovely viewers. This is Viewers Tube with Mariam Cisse.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I'm going to replace my AfriCell 3G SIM card.
Why use a 3G SIM card when you have a 4G phone? Replace your 3G SIM card today for the real AfriCell 4G SIM and receive 1 GB of internet data for free.
Really?
Yes, get 1 GB for free just by replacing your SIM card at any AfriCell outlet with no loss of contact. The cost of bundle from the 3G SIM card is the same for the 4G SIM. And guess what? With the 4G SIM card, you can also connect to the 3G network as well.
This is so cool. I'll replace my 3G SIM card right away to the real 4G SIM and receive my very own 1 GB for free.
From AfriCell, it's always real and it's for free.
Where AfriCell goes, no one has the speed to follow.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, I am Fatu Kamara, and this is the News Review program, broadcasting right here from our studios on Karaba Avenue, the Fatu Network studios. We're trying to get more information when we get a call. Okay, they're calling me again. So we are going to have a phone call now, and we will continue. Can you put my mic off so I can pick and the person's voice would not show? Thank you. Would not.
Okay, I will join by to discuss the issue. Actually, it was not the topic, but the issue came up, and we have to talk to Tukulor C about their contribution. So as soon as I get her online, I will let you know. I'm calling her now. Hello, Tukulor.
Hello, Omar. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I am good. And by the way, Ajifanta is making a lot of trouble for you, and you have to be careful. That girl, if she attacks you, you're in big trouble. How are you? And we're all proud of the good work you're doing, Omar.
Thank you so much. Now, moving on, we are discussing about the contribution and the reshufflement and the issue of the diaspora's contribution towards the new Gambia. So now, what can you tell us about it? There was a lot of talk. Some said nobody did favor for anybody. We all did our contribution. Some want Jamaica to stay, some want Jamaica to go, and those who want Jamaica to go, some put their resources. Others were like in the diaspora. There was social media campaign. Others were here undermining the system. Others went to vote. So it was a collective response, a collective effort that put aside Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well,
yes, Karen.
That is very true, Omar. But like they always say, you know how Barrow said, "Muntumala dibo dunta formol," something like that.
Manyo sute, ha.
Manyo sute.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Barrow has done.
Mm-hmm.
Because during the coalition campaign, it was Barrow, and that our CC that's sitting there. She is somebody we all use when we talk about the youths that risk their lives. I mean, at Korea, they all risk their lives following, and they dropped everything and using their own resources, following the coalition campaign around, and they were the ones sending us videos and stuff. When back then, as you know, it was dangerous to...
Right.
And yes, in the Gambia, we all did this for ourselves, but boy, oh boy, was it sweet back when we were raising funds with GDF, for example. We'd be on the radio, and they will call in, without you guys, we couldn't do this. And Barrow needs to know whether people want to admit this or not. It was Oje Jallo actually who came on Fatu Radio one day. I'll give you that history a little bit while you wait. When Fatu comes, kick me up.